Hey guys, it's Leo and HUGTTO PRECURE episode 11 is out, so let's talk about it. What a great episode. I absolutely adored it. In this episode, we had a continuation of Hana's drama while the girls were struggling to find a way for HUGTTO to wake up, while we had a new powered up villain and a new weapon. I am baffled after this episode because everything felt so nice. So right at the start, I felt like Hana's drama was very well established in episode 10. I adored episode 10 because it was very good, it was very believable, but I didn't really like how Hana dealt with not wanting to be a precure anymore. I mean, she could have dealt with the drama without this part, without having to deal with the fact that she doesn't want to be a precure anymore. I don't know, I didn't like that part specifically, but I did love how it ended up because, well, there were lots of ways in which Hana could be able to go through this hard time. But I felt like the series chose the best way to deal with it, which was talking to your mother. And I loved their talk. I loved how her mother felt very sensible, and her mother, being a good mother to her, she knew exactly what Hana needed to hear at that moment, because Hana was really needing someone to tell her what she's good at and how powerful she can be as a person, and how good her personality can be for her and for other people. And so her mother was very good at, you know, injecting that that needed self-esteem that Hana needed. And I loved their dialogue. It felt very very sensible, it felt very beautiful, and I really got emotional. You know, I love mother-daughter relationships in stories when they're done in this way, when they're done in a good way like this one. So for me, I loved how it was dealt with. And so on the other day when Hana woke up, she was feeling different. She was still feeling a little afraid, but she was feeling different already. And then just to crown the whole getting better at loving yourself thing, the girls were waiting for her outside her house, and they all praised Hana for the things they like about her. And I just love it because, you know, I've been saying that a lot. I love those three girls together, and I love how they work well together, and I think they create a family. Different from Kira Kira, for example, in which they created a different type of group, like a friendly group and a place that everyone felt safe, but in a friend way. You know, I didn't feel like there was a family in Kira Kira, but, you know, a group of friends who are very strong, who have a very strong bond of friendship. Now with HUGTTO, I feel like there's more of a family bond between the three girls, HUGTTO and Harry. You know, I feel like the bond is different. And I'm not saying this is better or Kira Kira is better. No, they're just different, and they're both equally good in my opinion. And so there was another thing that surprised me a lot in this episode, which was Papuru. Papuru was very afraid of her position in the Kuriasu Corp, and so she went after Charlie. I thought Charlie was fired and he simply left Kuriasu Corp, but that's not the case. Kuriasu Corp, it seems that Kuriasu Corp gets those employees that are not being good at their work, and they put them in a dark place, in a dark room in which they probably don't have contact with anything, and they end up despairing. And so Papuru got him, and she used him to, you know, to get to the precures because she thought they would be more powerful than an Oshimaida, simple Oshimaida. That worries me a little bit because Papuru knows that this can be her future, and still she did it. But I think that I can understand that because when you're in despair, you can do things you wouldn't normally do, and so that's why she chose to do that to Charlie. And well, she's probably very very worried about her future in Kuriasu Corp, and she knows what can happen to her. Girl, just run away with your taxi. Just run away with your taxi. You can have that. You're great. You don't need to go to the dark room. Anyways, then we had another problem the girls had to solve, which was HUGTTO was still sleeping, so how can we wake HUGTTO up? The Mirai pad actually helped them, and I feel like the Mirai pad is being presented as kind of like having a conscience. And that's kind of bizarre in a way, but it helped the girls because then they went to that place that I forgot the name, and then they found out there was a band playing, and it makes a lot of sense because HUGTTO likes music and HUGTTO likes being held, HUGTTO likes the girls, and the scene in which HUGTTO woke up was really, really beautiful. I really liked it, and I felt like it was very heartwarming. It felt very, very heartwarming. And then after that, we had another fateful encounter between Hana and the mysterious man with the book. And interesting because we have another hot guy in HUGTTO. HUGTTO, you deserve a 10 for that. And you know, I loved their conversation because it was a lot of foreshadowing for what was going to happen. And I don't know. Is this guy a villain? Is this guy someone who is responsible for everything? Because it seems that everything that's happening, even with the precure part, is part of what he is plotting. Because he knew that the girl that is a hero was going to get a sword and was going to fight, and I was like, wow, that's something strange here. And then we had the fight against Charlie as an Oshimaida. Charlie was super strong and the fight was nice, and the girls tried to use their powers. Obviously they couldn't do it. I mean, their powers don't work in a normal Oshimaida. Obviously they wouldn't work in Charlie. In Charlie Oshimaida, obviously they wouldn't work. And so the fight ended up becoming very very powerful because everyone around kind of got affected and the city was going to be destroyed. And another interesting thing was that we had lots of different characters paying attention to the fight. We had Emiru, we had Hana's sister, and we had Yurio from Yuri on Ice. I forgot his name. We had him also paying attention, while we also had Paparu and Lulu. I mean, Paparu would be okay being there, but Lulu was also paying attention and trying to understand what was going on. And so the girls were having a hard time with the fight, but Curiel, being born again and transforming again and fighting again, was able to overcome her difficulties and become a very courageous person. And I loved how she was cheering for herself, and she was also cheering for humanity. You know, she was cheering for everyone, and that was very nice. I also found it very nice that the girls were also cheering for Hana when she was going to transform into Curiel again. I loved that, and it all adds up to this family touch that I think HUGTTO has. And then when Hana felt super strong, she was able to awaken a new Mirai crystal, and she was able to awaken the precure sword. And I loved that. I loved how she was able to fight with the sword and get the sword, and then, but she obviously she didn't feel that was a correct thing, because when she was attacking Charlie, she understood there was a human there. There was someone that she could save. And so she didn't attack him. I loved that scene when she was jumping with the sword and then she turned her body around and then she just hit him with her body because she didn't want to defeat him. She didn't want to destroy him. That's a very precure thing to do. I mean, the Cures, they used to kill the villains back in the day, but now they don't really kill them in cold blood, you know? They don't kill them anymore in cold blood. They try to talk to them and understand them because they also have stories. That's a very nice thing. I like that. And then Charlie, he did a monologue about him feeling worthless with himself and not finding what he wants and not being able to do anything. I loved that. I felt that was believable. I believed in that and I really could understand him. And then Hana could also understand him because she was going through more or less the same thing and the same worries. And I loved that she hugged him because we're talking about hugs, right? Hugs is a theme of the season. And so she hugged him and then she was able to transform her sword in a weapon, in a different type of weapon, in a rod actually. And it's called Melody Sword yet, but it's not a proper sword like it was before. And then the other Cures were also able to awaken theirs, and they did a nice power together, and I adore the group attack, the Precure Trinity Concerto. I loved that. It was so beautiful, and it's interesting because, you know, music is not the theme of this season, but it made sense after this episode and after seeing the band play. And so music has a place for HUGTTO and for the girls as well, but for HUGTTO, and HUGTTO is a very important, she's a key piece for the season. And so they were able to awaken this power, to use their powers as musicians, not as musicians, but, you know, playing as they were musicians. Hana as if she were the maestro, Saya as if she was playing the harp, and Homare as if she was playing the flute. And beautiful attack. I adored it. It was so strong and powerful, and it purified Charlie. And now Charlie is not a villain anymore, and now he's probably a human. I hope that he doesn't stop appearing, because I don't want Paparu to disappear. So I want Charlie to keep appearing in the season, and that would just add a nice touch, I think. And I think Charlie and Harry would do a great duo. They would be a great duo together. I obviously together, but they would be a great duo if they were to be together. I would love that. I would love to see that. And so maybe that's an idea. I don't know. And one last thing, HUGTTO calling Hana Mama. Cute, cute, cute. I got really emotional after that. I got really emotional. So, episode 11, a great episode. It was a very nice episode, and I loved it. I loved this episode, and it seems that, oh, another thing that I wanted to talk about was the fact that we had Emiru and Lulu watching the whole battle, but we also had the guy, the Homare's friend, watching the battle as well. I mean, why is he watching the battle? He knows the girls are cures, and he knows, now he knows, he knew Homare was a cure, and now he probably knows Hana is one as well, after something that he said at the end of the episode. And so he knows the girls are cures. What is his place in this story? Because he wouldn't be there just because he was there. The series itself would not present him, would not put him there because of nothing. What is his point in this story? What's going on here? Because Emiru, we know, Lulu, we know, but this guy, we don't. I'm curious. I'm also curious for that adult with the book. I have no idea what he's in for. And so next episode, it seems that there's not gonna happen anything very special. It's just a pajama party. I thought when we saw the names of the episodes, I thought the pajama party was going to have like Emiru, Hana's sister as well, maybe other people, the other two girls from school, I don't know, more people together with the girls, but it seems that it's just a night out with the three of them, HUGTTO and Harry. And so I think it's gonna be just a cute and fluffy episode. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope Paparu doesn't go crazy next episode or she doesn't get fired. I want Paparu forever in this season. I'm sorry. Guys, please leave a comment with your opinions. If you liked this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel. And let's keep our talk in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye bye.